Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Ohio.
The Tigers landed another tough blow to the Indians' chances in the AL Central behind their big guns. First, Miguel Cabrera in the 8th inning, and then Prince Fielder in the 14th. Now the Tribe is staring Max Scherzer in the face, who's been almost unbeatable this season. But a win tonight could begin the fight back, and it starts next on Sports Time Ohio. From Progressive Field in downtown Cleveland, it's Indians baseball. Tonight, the Tribe and the Tigers wrap up their 4-game series. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. It's been tough already for the Tribe in the first 3 games of the series, losing all 3 to Detroit. And as if that isn't bad enough, now they've got Max Scherzer opposing them here tonight. And Rick, Max Scherzer has a chance to do something no Tigers pitcher has ever done in their franchise history, and that's start his season 17-1.
Well, he's having a year you just dream about. He is a power pitcher, second in the league in strikeouts, and he's got an excellent fastball, a good changeup to go with a slider. He's beaten the Indians twice this year out of 3 starts. If that isn't good enough, he averages the most run support on the team or in the league. He gets 7.5 run support per game when he is on the mound. So it's going to be up to Zach McAllister to see if he can keep the Tigers' bats at bay. He has the best ERA against the Tigers in his career for 4 starts or more, but he doesn't have a win or a loss. So he's going to have to go out there, try and keep it as close as he can, and hopefully the bats can do some damage to Scherzer.
Well, the Indians desperately need a victory here tonight to keep themselves in the race in the American League Central Division. Will the Tribe get up off the canvas and start throwing some haymakers here tonight in the series finale? Or will Detroit's Max Scherzer make history? The play-by-play is coming up next. A gray overcast evening here in downtown Cleveland. Indians-Tigers wrapping up the 4-game series. And the Indians absolutely in desperation mode here tonight, needing a win to salvage the finale in this series. Zach McAllister and the Indians take the field here tonight, trying to stop a Tigers team under Jim Leyland that has reeled off 11 consecutive victories. They've opened up a 6-game lead in the Central Division, the Indians' largest deficit of the year. Let's take a look at Jim Leyland's starting 9 for Detroit tonight. Austin Jackson in the leadoff spot, followed by Andy Dirks. Miguel Cabrera leading the league in batting average, second in homers and runs batted in, will hit third. Prince Fielder cleanup, then Victor Martinez, followed by Don Kelly, Alex Avila, Ramon Santiago, and Hernan Perez batting ninth.
It'll be Zach McAllister on the mound for the Indians. His 15th start of the year, his 4th since coming off the disabled list. In his last start down in Miami, he had a no decision, although he had a no-hitter going through 5 innings. Came out into the 6th, and he gave up a couple of runs. And he has 1 start against the Tigers this year. It was a no decision as well. He went 6 innings, gave up 8 hits and 3 runs, a couple earned, had 5 strikeouts in that ball game, but no wins and losses in his career against the Tigers. Let's check out the Kia Indians defense. Brantley will be in left, Bourne in center, Stubbs back in right. Chisenhall at third, Cabrera at short, Afilas is at second, Swisher at first with Santana behind the plate.
Ron Culpa behind the plate tonight. Tom Hallion, your crew chief, is at first base. Phil Cuzzy at second. Chris Guccione down at third. Austin Jackson, 4 for 17 in the series, will lead it off for Detroit. And McAllister with a fastball strike over the outside corner. .73 degrees, our game time temperature. And the count quickly 0-2.
McAllister has pitched well here, 3-2 this year with a .282 earned run average.
Swung on and missed. He strikes him out to start the game. Rick, you always wonder at this point in the season what the effects of a 14-inning game will have on the everyday lineup guys. And especially a game that was closely contested, a lot of energy expended, both teams desperately wanting to win that game last night. For Detroit, it's a win that guarantees them a series win. The Indians wanted to win to try to at least give them a chance at a split, so a lot of energy expended last night.
I guarantee the Tigers slept better, and they probably had a little more bounce in their step today.
Yeah.
You know, the Indians, that's a game when you play that long and 14 innings, you certainly want to win. But they have to come right back out and throw it all on the field again, which I'm sure they will do.
Andy Dirks is swinging a miss to count 1-1. Terry Francona said after last night's game, they're all tough. They all hurt in this series. Asked, if the 14-inning game had any more or less impact than the first 2 losses in the series. When he said when you battle that long, you want to win. You want to win the game
sure
when you play that long. But he said they're all tough at this point.
That was only their second loss in extra innings yesterday, 7-2 now. But I will say this has been a very good series. Baseball-wise, it's been fun to watch. There's been some great pitching, a lot of action. That guy last night was about as good as you can get, even though he had a no decision.
Back out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the first inning. And the 2-2 fouled back as well. Miguel Cabrera waiting on deck. Big bouncer to first base. Swisher with a nice backhanded pick. 2 down. The keys to the game tonight, brought to you by Akron Children's Hospital. For the Indians, try to neutralize the big guys, or at least when they have opportunities to do damage. And against Max Scherzer, who has been
almost unbeatable this year with a record of 16-1. You've got to try to manufacture some runs, especially early in the game. Cabrera has hit in 5 straight games for Detroit. Out of play. Cabrera said after the game last night, facing Danny Salazar for the 4th time, he said, when he struck me out earlier in the game, he struck me out on pitches that were 99 and 100 miles an hour. The one he hit out, he said, was 97. He said just the difference in velocity. It may only be a couple of miles an hour's difference to you and me, but for him it was all the difference in the world. What a good first inning for Zach McAllister. The Tigers go 1-2-3, and the Indians are now coming to bat. Take a look at Terry Francona's starting lineup, brought to you by Progressive, making it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. For the Tribe, Michael Bourne leading it off, then it's Nick Swisher. Jason Kipnis will bat 3rd, followed by Asdrubal Cabrera. Michael Brantley will bat 5th, then Carlos Santana. Lonnie Chisenhall 7th, Mike Aviles at second base hitting 8th, and Drew Stubbs will bat 9th.
Well, Max Scherzer this year, 16-1. Out of his 22 starts. So he has been about as good as you can be. He went 19 consecutive starts before getting a loss. He has a 2.85 ERA, second in the league in strikeouts. And he's 2-0 against the Indians this year in 3 starts.
Bourne shortened the bunt, took it over the outside corner for a strike.
Scherzer has been human in this ballpark. In 7 outings, he's 2-3 with a 4.74.
Down low, 1-1. Bourne has gone 3 for 14 in the series. He checks, it's on the outside corner. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Upstairs with it. Now the 2-2. In off the plate and a full count.
Scherzer doesn't give up a lot of hits. 104 hits given up in his 101 and 51 in the 3rd innings.
Popped him in the air to left field. In comes Andy Dirks. 1 away.
A look at that Tigers defense for you now that we have an opportunity. It'll be Dirks in left field. It'll be Jackson in center. Kelly is in right. Torrey Hunter gets the night off. Cabrera is at third. Santiago at short. Perez at second. Fielder at first. Avila back behind the plate. Kelly pretty much plays all over for the Tigers.
Nick Swisher on the check swing, fouls it back. One ball, one strike. Scherzer the wide on the 1-1. And he drives one toward deep center field. On the run, Jackson. He makes the running catch in the middle of the warning track for out number 2.
Man, that guy can go get him. He just outran that ball. I thought that's another double. Swisher going to left center field, put an excellent swing on the baseball. And Austin Jackson just outruns it on the dead run. You see him backhand it. A fine running catch and turned a double into an at-bat. Look at him. He's smiling, looking in. Rightfully so.
2 down now for Jason Kipnis. Kipnis DHing tonight. And Scherzer with a fastball strike. And on the outside corner, no balls and 2 strikes. Scherzer with 170 strikeouts in 152 innings of work on the year. Now the 0-2. And he strikes him out. The Indians go 1-2-3, no score after 1.
Introducing 3 exciting new quarter pounders. And by Kia.
No score, second inning. It will be Prince Fielder, Victor Martinez, and Don Kelly for Detroit. Prince Fielder takes the ball inside. Fielder, the difference-making double in the 14th inning last night. Driving in a couple of runs. He now has 78 runs batted in on the year, 5th most in the American League.
Here's the guy that got the big hit last night in extra innings. An 0-2 pitch. Drove it to left center field. Drive right like that.
That's deep to left. Back is Brantley on the track. It's over his head. And he's got a good strong arm throw towards second base. And he is safe. Fielder went in with a belly flop and then grabbed onto that bag and wouldn't let go. That's a wonder he didn't tear it right out of the ground with him.
No kidding. Brantley made a beautiful play out in left field where that ball short hopped the wall. Watch him barehand it, and he turned and fired a strike. And he gets it in, and look at the tag by Aviles, and he's saying no. He got the hand in first, and he didn't let go. That's like a bear going after a tree right there. See, the glove beat him down there, but I think it was in the middle of the bag. And you can't blame Aviles to try and get down in front of Prince because he could knock you into left field.
Wow, that was very close play.
Yes, it was.
Very close. And so now Victor Martinez will bat with a runner in scoring position here in the second inning. Upstairs, ball one. Victor 5 out of 12 in the series. By the way, we talk so much around here because the numbers retired. The 455 consecutive sellouts by Indians fans here at Progressive Field. 455 consecutive games played now for Prince Fielder.
No kidding. Yeah, he's a gamer. He's out there every day. You can't get him out of the lineup.
Up and in, he knocked Martinez off the plate with that pitch.
It's all right, good pitch.
You've got to pitch him. Of all those guys, you've got to show him inside.
Yeah, most good hitters you have to pitch inside, but especially Martinez because he'll hang out over that plate and wear you out in the left field. And, I mean, not just one to show him in there. You've got to continually make him conscious of the inside part.
Chops it towards second base. And Mike Aviles throws him out, one away. Fielder moves to third. Now Michael Brantley has been just dynamite, throwing people out from his spot in left field all season long. With more on that, here's Katie Witham.
Well, Matt, that's one of the things that has impressed his manager the most. Terry Francona said Brantley has one of the most accurate arms he's ever seen in the outfield. His one-hop throws always right on the money, and it's something Brantley practices and works hard at every day. He also said that this is exactly what the Indians envisioned when they moved Brantley from center field out to left field.
That left, his arm plays perfectly for left field. And you know what? It's accurate. You have to practice it. Day in and day out, you make the one-hop throws right there. He has 10 assists. He's been great. Almost 11 right there.
Infield partway in. Kelly takes up high. And that's the one thing, too, with Brantley. It's not as if all of his throws are where he's under the ball. He settles, sets his feet.
No.
A lot of his throws are when he's had to spin, pivot, and throw, and it's still accurate.
He's thrown guys out at home plate and done a nice job. He's gone to the line and to turn and throw to second.
Weekly tap.
There you go.
Cabrera going to have to unload in a hurry, and they got Kelly 2 down. Fielder unable to score on the play, so there are 2 away now for Alex Avila.
Well, if you're not going on contact, which Fielder was not, then he's not going to score because it's a little check swing. That's why you bring that infield in. If he was going on contact, it would have been very interesting to see what would have happened there. But they decided not to send him on contact.
I'm sure Carlos Santana's grateful that he wasn't going on contact. I wouldn't want to look at him coming down the line, bearing down on me.
You wouldn't look. You'd hear him coming down. You'd have to get out of the way.
The ground would shake. Alex Avila. He got the night off last night, the 14-inning affair.
Boy, I bet he's thankful. Because when you think about it, the night before, he ended up taking foul tips off both knees, fouled one off his foot. So he picked the right one to miss.
At one point, we thought he was going to have to go into the game when Brian Pena was grabbing at his hamstring or his lower leg, but Pena stayed in there. Avila pulls it foul. And the count 0-2. Avila on the year, 7 for 28 with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. Strike 3 called. McAllister paints the inside corner. His second strikeout of the game. And the Tigers strand a runner at third. No score. Middle of the second. A roster move. They parted ways with Mark Reynolds, designated for assignment, and they called up some bullpen help, Preston Guillemette. Reynolds got off to a fantastic start, but has not been able to get on track ever since. And while Francona kept trying to get him playing time and get him at-bats, the at-bats were getting fewer and far between, and just felt like for the best thing for the team right now was to part company. So the Indians have an extra arm in the bullpen. And the Indians continue to monitor the waiver wire situation with the hopes of potentially adding another piece to the puzzle here before the end of the month. Cabrera with a line drive into the glove of Prince Fielder. The nimble first baseman from Detroit takes a hit away from Cabrera. With more on the Tribe roster move, here's Katie Witham.
Well, Matt, it always hurts when you lose one of your own, and Mark Reynolds was a guy that was well-liked in the clubhouse. Some of them told me today inside the Indians clubhouse that they knew Mark was going through a tough stretch, and you never want to see a teammate of yours have to go through something like that. But he's a guy with a lot of potential, and they really hope that somebody picks him up because these guys in this Indians clubhouse want to see him do well.
All right, thanks, Katie. Michael Brantley, 4-game hitting streak. He's gone 6 for 12 in this series with a couple of doubles. Fastball inside corner, well placed. And the count 0-2 on Brantley. Tried to shoot for the outside corner with the off-speed pitch. Didn't make it, and it's 1-2. Max Scherzer, 16-1 to start the year. No Tigers pitcher has ever gone 17-1 to start a season. The best starts in Tiger history, Denny McLain in 1968 started out 16-2, and Bobo Newsom way back also started out 16-2.
Yeah, it's a dream start when you come into it. And everything has gone his way, as well as he's pitched very, very well all year long.
Missed inside, of course. Denny McLain, he pitched back when it was four-man rotations.
Yeah, he had,
41 starts that year that he started out 16-2 and ultimately went 31-6 in his 41 starts.
Only 4 no decisions. Well, that's when they used to go back. You didn't use the bullpens. Nowadays, with the specializing of the setup guys, the closers, and the starters don't go as deep. And it's a good story because this guy here, Max Scherzer, doesn't have a complete game in his career, which is a rarity. As good as he is, he's pitched 8 innings, twice, and 7 innings once against the Indians this year in his 3 starts.
Brantley a liner to first. Prince Fielder has that one. 2 down. Firestone Complete Auto Care Extra Mile Index. Max Scherzer, when you look at where he ranks, it's almost as if you look at him right now and the Cy Young Award is his to lose because of the start he's had and because of how good he has been up to this point. But still, a lot can happen between now and the end of the year.
Yeah, it certainly can. There's still a long way to go. We're at, August 8th right now, and he's probably has, 11 starts or so to go, I would think.
Worth noting, though, with McLain, when he won the Cy Young that year in 1968, 31-6, his ERA was 1.96, and he probably wasn't the best pitcher in baseball that year. Because you had a guy in the National League by the name of Bob Gibson, who only won 22 games that year, but his ERA was 1.12.
Yeah. Look at the year Tion had that year. That's the year. Next year, they lowered the mound.
Right.
That's how good pitching was in baseball, and they couldn't hit. And they're thinking, oh, my goodness, these guys are dominating.
1-1 pitch. Well, didn't we look at the numbers? That's the year Carl Yastrzemski won the batting title, and he was right at 300,
301, I believe.
Yeah, barely over 300. It's the best batting average that year, and it was just thoroughly dominated by the pitching. The 2-1 delivery. Inside with it, and Santana goes down. 3 balls and a strike.
Oh, we talked to Sonny Siebert the next year. Remember when we said, what was it like after they lowered the mound? Compared, when you figure, would they lower 3 inches or so? The tilt going downward, it had to make a difference for these guys.
Well, the next year, Denny McLain went 24-9, ERA 2.80. Santana swinging him his full count, so it's not like it bothered him a whole lot.
No.
His problems were off the field, and they caught up to him the final year, or the following season. Scherzer's payoff pitch popped him up. Shallow left. Out goes Santiago, the shortstop. And the Indians go 1-2-3. 2 innings in the books, no score in Cleveland.
MLB.com. It's available on iPhone and iPad, and you can download it free today.
Third inning, Zach McAllister will face Ramon Santiago to lead off for Detroit. Santiago 3 for 10 in the series.
Well, and he's had to step up his play because Infante being out of their lineup, so he's having to play second. Tonight he's playing short because Iglesias was spiked last night on a stolen base from Michael Brantley, so he's missing tonight's game.
He has a contusion on his big toe.
Well, and it showed. We had a great shot last night of that stolen base where Brantley's spike went right on him, and he stopped him from getting to the bag, and that's how he was out. So I'm sure he's got a nice little cut on there. It's not feeling really well.
And probably not advised to block the bag when a guy's coming in.
Well, you do that. That's why you go feet first. You know, if you come, hands first or something, you can always go down and throw a knee, and those fingers, you can jam their fingers. But when you have to move when the spikes come in.
McAllister walks the leadoff man. Santiago gets aboard. Hernan Perez batting ninth. He's getting the start tonight because of the injury to Iglesias. He squares and takes up and in ball one. And Santana's going to go out and have a quick chat with McAllister.
Yeah, he was pounding the strike zone first couple innings, and now you walk the leadoff man. And we've seen that a number of times this year for the Indians pitchers. They get down to the 7, 8, 9 slot, maybe lose a little focus. You hate to walk those guys down there. They have to hit their way on. Save those walks for Cabrera, fielder, if you can.
It's up high, 2-0. This was the play we're referring to if you missed it last night. Brantley went in the throw.
Right on his foot. Look at that.
He was just flat on the way.
He was, but he made the play, held on to the ball, but got spiked in the meantime.
Three balls, no strikes. Perez will be taken all the way here. And it's in there, 3-1. Will probably be taken again.
Well, this is where the Tigers can start your runner, 3-1. I mean, they can be aggressive at the bottom part of their lineup now. Jim Leyland, he doesn't steal a lot of bases as a manager. They don't have the team to, but he does. He starts a lot of runners.
Okay.
He's taking two. He won't be standing over there now.
Runner goes. And a line drive to right field, a base hit. Santiago goes to third. And the Tigers have him at the corners with nobody else.
Done to perfection. I mean, he fell behind in the count. He's got to come back and throw 3 straight fastballs. And I don't care if you're the 9th place hitter. If you're a major league hitter, you ought to be able to hit a fastball, and he does the job to perfection. First and thirds him, nobody out. Turn it over to the top of the lineup. So the leadoff walk and a single now has McAllister in hot water.
Austin Jackson struck out his first time up. Up high, ball one. He misses again, 2-0, and he's
well,
all
Mickey
over the
Callaway's
place.
got to go talk to him. I don't know if he lost his release point or what.
Here comes Mickey Callaway to talk to him. See if maybe he is seeing something from the dugout that he can correct on the fly here.
Now, this is the part of the lineup you have to take care of. You know, he's done him a favor. So now you have to regroup. And I mean, you have to regroup in a hurry because you've got the big hitters coming up.
What breeze we have tonight is blowing in from center field. McAllister finds the zone. It's 2-1. There you see, it's not a strong, sustained wind, but unusual this time of the year. They have it blowing straight in. 3 balls and a strike. Perez back easily. Austin Jackson, 4 hits and 18 at-bats in this series. Tried to hold up, but he went around. And a full count. Well, like a fastball inside. He was tracking it and then didn't want to swing, but
he was cheating on it. I mean, that's what you look for is that heaters in a 3-1 count. And he tried to get it going. He just couldn't hold up.
Payoff pitch. Fouled out of play. Jackson spent a month on the disabled list with a left hamstring problem. He's a difference maker for Detroit at the top of their lineup. Again, the 3-2, and that's ball 4, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. 2 walks in the inning. And now McAllister's got Andy Dirks with Miguel Cabrera waiting on deck.
Well, right now he'd be happy to trade a double play to let a run in, but he needs an out.
Dirks in his last 52 games hitting .230. But I don't think those last 52 games take into consideration the damage he's done against the Indians. He's had good swings against the Tribe all season long. McAllister's 0-1. Swing and a miss. Another good fastball. He's got him down on the count 0-2.
Well, he elevated the fastball here. Check it out on our Nissan pitch tracker. It's above the belt, and that's a nice spot to pitch left-handed hitters. They have a tough time getting on top of that, as any hitter does. They like that ball down in the zone, typically.
Strikes
Nice.
him out with a good high fastball. Third strikeout for McAllister, 1 down in the inning.
I mean, he stayed up there 3 straight pitches and had the same result, the swing and the miss. I think they found a way how to pitch him. Just get those fastballs above the belt.
Now the problem now is you got nowhere to put Miguel Cabrera, so you can't pitch around him here. He fouled out to first his first time up. Low and away, ball 1. 1-0 pitch. Upstairs, 2-0. You always think back, especially where Cabrera's at right now in his career, Rick. Think back to when Buck Showalter ordered Barry Bonds to be intentionally walked with the bases loaded. He said, I'd rather give him 1 than give him 4.
Yeah, you're right. It's about the same boat here.
2-0 pitch. Upstairs, 3-0.
But the difference is you still got to come back and get the next hitter, no matter who you walk and when you walk them. But this guy is the most dangerous hitter in baseball, without a doubt, the best hitter in baseball, especially with the game on the line, because he's done a lot of damage to the Indians this year and a lot of teams.
3-0 pitch. And that was borderline, but it's called ball 4. And the Tigers have a 1-0 lead as Cabrera picks up his 103rd run batted in on the year. And that is the 3rd walk in the inning.
3rd walk in the inning, but you know what? That's not a bad pitch. But it's only 1 run. Now you have to make your pitch here to Prince Fielder. He came up and got Detroit started in the 2nd with a double to left center field.
This is already the 25th pitch of the inning for McAllister. And unfortunately, most of them have been balls.
Well, he is having a tough time. I don't know what happened to the strike zone in this inning.
Yeah,
but it
what
started
happened
with the leadoff hitter.
First 2 innings, he was just cruising along.
He was pounding a strike zone like he normally does.
There's a strike to Prince Fielder, 1-1 to count. Interesting that he stays out of the stretch.
Yeah, well, they usually do with guys on the bases with less than 2 outs. They will. I've never seen him go from the full windup.
Upstairs with it, 2 balls
He's
and a strike.
upstairs with everything. Now, I don't know if he's maybe just opening up a little too quickly and not driving through, but everything's up in the strike zone.
There's a good pitch, and I don't know.
Well,
Guess it was a little bit low.
But at least it's down in the strike zone.
Pitch count climbing on a night where they were looking for some length from the starter. Out of the 27 pitches he's thrown, 18 have missed the strike zone. And now he drives one to left center. That's in the gap. That'll get at least 2 home. Miguel Cabrera will go to 3rd as Fielder gets into second base with a 2-run double. 3-0 Tigers. And Fielder 2 for 2 with 2 doubles, and both of them he's just gone the other way with it.
Well, and he's fallen behind everybody, and everything's elevated, and you're going to see how he falls behind and then has to go into him. 2-1 count. Just a little low. That was a better pitch, but that pitch is up, belled high. And that's almost a replay of what happened the first time up. Only the first time up was a little harder. So his wildness is hurting him in this inning.
And Victor Martinez coming up with runners at 2nd and 3rd and still only 1 out. Martinez takes a strike. And Victor drives it to deep right field. That's going to get down, and it will short hop the fence. 2 more will come home for Detroit. Another double in the inning, and it's now 5-0 Tigers. Martinez with his 25th double, RBIs number 62 and 63.
Second 5-run inning for the Tigers in this series. They did it in the 5th inning of Game 2. They do it here in the 3rd inning of Game 4. And this is a little breaking ball down, and Victor smoked it.
Now the activity is beginning in the Indians bullpen now. Don Kelly will be the 8th man to bat in the inning for Detroit. 300th career double for Martinez. Up and away, ball 1. Preston Guillemette, the new guy who just got called up. He's getting up and getting loose in the bullpen. Kelly a swing and a miss. Kelly takes it's up high, 2-1. When the Tigers had that 5-run inning against Justin Masterson, it wasn't walks. It was a couple of hit batters that were costly to Masterson.
The same thing, free passes.
Upstairs again, 3-1.
Anytime you give a good hitting team base runners without making them earn it, you could be in for trouble, especially the way this Detroit team can swing it.
And the 4th walk in the inning. We'll put runners at first and second with still only 1 out. Now it's just a matter of how quickly can Guillemette get ready. It's fairly evident that McAllister doesn't have it, but what's really strange is that he looked great in the first 2 innings.
I don't know how you could lose it so quickly as he has this inning. And it started from the very first hitter with a walk to Santiago. He fell behind Perez, who on a 3-2 pitch, they started the runner. They went from first to third, then a walk, then a strikeout, and a walk. And he has been all over the place. And, you know, not much down in the strike zone, Matt. Everything seems to be elevated.
Here comes Terry Francona. I guess Guillemette ready. If he's not, he'll have to get ready when he comes into the ball game here.
Innings.
Worst case scenario playing out here tonight for the Indians. They're behind early against the guy who's 16-1, and they've got to go to the bullpen one night after they had a 14-inning game here at Progressive Field. Today's Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen. Preston Guillemette, the new guy, will be coming on when we come back.
will be treated to an encore Rock and Blast fireworks show, and the first 10,000 fans will receive a Rocky Colavito plaque. They're both courtesy of Progressive Insurance. So log on to Indians.com for your tickets. Be a nice luncheon at the Terrace Club on Saturday, 11 o'clock with Rocky. Gary Bell, Max Alvis will be in for the weekend as well.
Preston Guillemette in his second tour of duty with the Tribe this year. He made his Major League debut back on July the 10th against Toronto. On the year with AAA Columbus, he's gone 4-4 with 18 saves and a 1.95 ERA in 42 appearances for the Columbus Clippers. And in his last 19 appearances, that ERA is 0.59. Second in the International League in saves. And he's on now to try to eat up a few innings if he can.
Well, he's going to, no matter how you slice it. Tough night for McAllister. I don't know what to say. What happened? He was throwing strikes. He had the leadoff double in the second inning and got around that, and then just fell apart in the third. Literally, not throwing strikes and just
4 walks. I mean, he doesn't, like you said.
Never seen him do that before.
27 walks all year in 14 starts, and then he walks 4 in 1 inning. That's a head scratcher. Preston Guillemette delivers. It's in the dirt. Nice block by Santana. Keeps the runners from advancing. Avila, the 9th man to bat in the inning. Two balls and a strike. And a swing and a miss to even the count of 2-2. Two on, 1 out, and 2-2 count. Avila drives one to right field. Stubbs is there to make the catch. The runners hold 2 down. Our stat of the game brought to you by your Northern Ohio Buick dealers. In Cleveland, Detroit has made themselves right at home, winning 8 out of 9.
Well, they can't play any better against the Indians or in this ballpark than what they have this year. They have had the number of the Cleveland Indians, no doubt.
Santiago is swinging a miss. He walked to start this inning. Out of play to the left, it's 0-2. Ground ball to second base. Mike Aviles kicks it. And coming around third, Victor Martinez going to try to score. Here's Stubbs' throw to the plate. It's too tall all the way to the backstop. Now Don Kelly comes around third, slams on the brakes, and goes back to the bag. Well, it's gone from bad to worse now. Santiago reaching on the air, and the Tigers add to their lead.
Yeah, routine play should be out of the inning, and then Aviles lets it go off him. His glove ricochets into right field. They're going to wave Martinez around to score. And then Stubbs tries to throw him out and overthrows the play. So I think you answered your own question when you asked how do you think they'll respond after that extra inning game last night. It hasn't been good for the Tribe.
Pitch in there for a strike to Hernan Perez. Right back up the middle. Cabrera's got it. Throws on the run. The inning is over. The Tigers send 11 men to the plate, and they score a half dozen to take the lead. Now, Max Scherzer, you mentioned it earlier, he benefits from a lot of run support.
Well, they're not quite there yet.
And to give you an idea what the Indians are up against now, only twice this year, has he given up more than 4 runs in a start, and both times he gave up 5.
Well, that was an inning there that you just want to throw out. That's an ugly inning. They scored 6 runs, 3 hits. They had 4 walks, an error thrown in there. And that pretty much takes you right out of the ball game.
Monty Chisenhall will lead off. Chisenhall 1 hit in his last 15 at-bats. Outside 1-1. Scherzer went 19 straight starts before he got his first loss this year. And that dated back to September 23rd of last season. And that's a new Tigers record for consecutive starts without a loss.
I mean, as a goal, and he'll be the first to tell you, I've heard him talk about it, his job, and it's not being undefeated. It's not what your record is. It's going out and giving your team an opportunity to win.
Don Kelly tracking it onto the warning track and makes the catch, 1 away. Let's check out our AT&T trivia question tonight. 4 pitchers have won 25 or more games in a season and did not win a Cy Young award.
Boy, that must have been tough years.
Well, I'm trying to think, when was the first year the Cy Young was awarded? That's what you have to think about. 1956. Okay. Because you go back in baseball history, and I mean, guys, the number of games that guys won in a single season were ridiculous.
Well, over 25. The first guy that comes to my mind would be Bob Welsh, was the last one to win over 25, unless I'm wrong, but that's just the first thing that popped into my mind. So you got to go back, I would think, farther than that to see if he won 25, and I'm not sure. He might have won the Cy Young. I think he did.
Well, Hershiser won it in the National League that year. I would think he won it in the American League. It's an interesting one. 2 down here in the inning. And it will bring up Drew Stubbs. And a strike is called to Drew Stubbs. In there for a called strike. Strike 3 called. The inning is over as Max Scherzer is perfect through the first 3 frames. 6-0 Detroit. And the top of the order for Detroit. Preston Guillemette, who got the final 2 outs in the 3rd inning, will stay on the pitch here in the 4th. And a strike call to Jackson, who walked and scored in the 3rd. Back out of play. Checks on a ball that's up high, 1-2 the count. Breaking ball yanked into left center. And that's a gapper that will go all the way to the warning track where Bourne finally tracks it down. Jackson's going to keep on going for 3. Here's the throw, and it hit him. It hit Jackson and skips by the bag. And a leadoff triple.
He just flat out challenged it. I mean, he saw there a lot of guys would have pulled up 6-0 ball game, but Austin Jackson just continued to put the pedal to the metal and challenge the throw, and he goes in head first and will get a triple for his 3rd triple this year. Bourne backhands it, doesn't even reach the wall. They get it into Cabrera, good relay, good throw, and it short hops, and then Chisenhall it gets past him. But he just flat out challenged the throws. Rarely do you see that happen, especially the left center field. I can see right center, but he didn't hesitate. He broke out of the box and hustled. I give him credit.
Andy Dirks 0 for 2 on the night. Driven deep right field into the corner. That goes. Another run comes home. 7-0 Tigers. Dirks on his way to second. So a triple and a double to start this 4th inning for Detroit. Dirks with his 10th double, his 26th run batted in.
That's their 4th double of the night already. And he left him something out over the plate. When he struck out, it was the high fastballs that got him to get that ball down a little bit, and you see what happens. And it looked like it might have been a changeup. So Dirks drives in the 7th run tonight for Detroit. And they went 1-2-3 in the first, but they haven't been quiet ever since.
Miguel Cabrera. Spiked it in the ground. Good block by Carlos. Down low. 2 balls, no strikes. Three and 0. Miguel Cabrera takes a look. It's low and it's ball 4. He's walked for the 2nd time tonight. 2 on, nobody out. Prince Fielder coming up. And our great clip of the game from last night. Hope for the future here. Danny Salazar. Not only hope for the future, hope for the present. The way he threw the ball last night.
Yeah, he was
incredible.
He was a treat to watch. Excellent fastball with a great feel with his changeup. Mixed in a few breaking balls. I mean, this guy, I had a couple scouts tell me that that's probably the best performance they've seen from a young pitcher in years and years. And he still gave up 4 runs. But he had 10 strikeouts and had command of the fastball. He was fun to watch. He's aggressive. I like his attitude, his makeup, just the way he handles himself. He's 23 years old.
Terry Francona told me today, he said he liked the way he carried himself on the mound. He said it's not a cockiness, but it's just a supreme confidence. He said he carries himself like he belongs.
He does. There's no doubt about that.
Tagging and going to third as Andy Dirks, one down in the inning. With more on Salazar and what the Tigers thought of his performance, here's Katie Witham.
Well, the Tigers clubhouse today was pretty blown away with what they saw from Danny Salazar. Miguel Cabrera told me he's the real deal. He knew what to do, what he wanted to do on every pitch. He was so composed, but what he was most impressed with, Salazar, was how he worked both sides of the plate and consistently hit 98, 100 miles an hour the entire game. He joked with the Indians bench in the 7th inning, please, please take the pitcher out so we can get a hit, which I think shows a lot of respect.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely opened some eyes. Even Jim Leland was singing his praises afterwards. How could you not?
If you watch baseball and you see a guy throw the ball like that, and you know, just the makeup, you got to love it.
This is potentially trouble down the line, but it's going to be pushed foul out of play.
Talking to Dave Dombrowski, he says, you know, I think we're going to have to see that guy for a lot of years to come. You know, it being in
Let's
the
hope
division.
so, yeah.
Really. Let's hope so is right. It's fun. I mean, I'm excited about watching him pitch the rest of this year and watch him fall into that rotation next year.
Jim Leland said the thing that really struck him was how effortless the 98 and the 99 miles an hour came out of his hand.
Yeah. And then they had a guy come in and throw 103. So what are we talking about? Rondon came in out of their bullpen and threw how many? 3 or 4 pitches at 103 miles per hour. There was some gas being thrown in this park last night.
It's off the glove of Aviles and into right field. Dirk scores. It's 8-0 Detroit. Everything going Detroit's way now. Martinez with his second hit. Just a perfectly placed seeing eye single. Aviles got leather on it, but just couldn't get to it.
Well, he's just going to roll over on it, and it's placed. It went under Swisher's glove and off of Aviles. So it's in there for a base knock. You have to get Cabrera some roller skates. I mean, he's actually almost walking out there. I wouldn't be surprised to watch him. They'd get him out of this ball game here soon.
Don Kelly has grounded out and walked. Down and in. One ball, 2 strikes. A little bit outside. The 2-2. It was right there, a fastball, and Kelly found it right back. Weekly bounce right at the second baseman of Aviles. They go to second for 1. Cabrera can't turn the double play. 2 away. Miguel Cabrera went to third and went down in a heap. What happened there? He tips his cap to the crowd. He's been dealing with an injury, and it's obviously affected his ability to move around, and he's trying to protect himself as well, because when we watch him run the bases, if he doesn't have to, he's putting forth as little effort as possible when he's out there. That time he almost rolled his ankle, though, and put himself on the DL. How many times you see that, though, in athletics? When you're trying not to get hurt,
sure,
that's usually when you do.
Sure. He was just going in there to third base just to stop.
Two down, the 1-0 pitch, and it's down low, 2-0. Preston Guillemette now has already made 33 pitches since he entered the game. Avila fouls it off. Kansas City is home against Boston tonight. The Royals have closed to within 2.5 games of the Indians now in the Central Division. KC's won 8 of their last 10. High fly ball, center field. Michael Bourne makes the catch. The inning is over. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. 2 more for Detroit. They lead at 8-0. Hanneman tackles managing in the bigs. What does Brandon Whedon want to accomplish tonight, and just how good can Braxton Miller be? Get complete coverage of all today's action involving Ohio sports on foxsportsohio.com. Here in the 4th, it'll be Michael Bourne to lead off for the Tribe, then Nick Swisher and Jason Kipnis.
Well, Max Scherzer's had a couple innings where he's had to sit in that dugout quite a while. Didn't bother him the last inning. Came right out throwing strikes.
Right back to Scherzer. Fires it low and threw it away, and Bourne will turn, and then he'll have to stop because he got kind of hung up with Tom Hallion, the first base umpire.
Well, that's another thing that Bourne does, boy. He runs it out and runs it hard. And I think with the ball deflecting off of Scherzer's glove, he had to try and rush a little bit. And he picks it up and he throws it wide. See, that ball gets away just enough. Look at Bourne go down that line, man. He was a man possessed to get to first base. And he threw it wild. I'm not sure he'll get a hit.
Yeah, they gave him a hit.
Okay.
I mean, even if the throw's on the money, I'm not sure
it would have been close. It would have been close, but another infield hit for Michael Bourne. That's the first hit that Scherzer has given up, and that's 24 infield hits for Bourne on the season.
Nick Swisher flied to deep center his first and only time up, and a swing and a miss here.
Yeah, great play made by Austin Jackson to rob Swisher of a double. But I like the swing. He did that last night where he went to left center field with a double. Staying on the baseball a little bit more.
Upstairs, 1-1 to count. Fouled right back, and that got the catcher, Alex Avila. He got him maybe on the shoulder. Or did it get him on the... Wow. He was rubbing his ear.
Well, how it got around that, I don't know.
One ball, two strikes.
You know, we had talked about the Detroit starters, how they do such a good job in the running game. You know, when you have a close game. Not that this is a running situation or anything, but Scherzer's different than the other guys they have. He's one of the guys that really holds the ball for a long time before he delivers at the home plate. And if you're a base stealer, it's tough to get a read off him because it changes. And I mean, he'll hold it for 3 seconds. A lot of times you'll see the hitters call timeout.
Down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Swisher is out looking. Strike 3 called. 4th strikeout for Scherzer. 1 down here in the 4th inning. Let's go back to the Hyundai Studios right now for an in-game update with Al Pawlowski.
Hey, Matt and Rick, Pittsburgh's magical season continued today in Pittsburgh, tied in the 10th inning at 4. Russell Martin with the base hit down the left field line that drives in the go-ahead run, the winning run, as the Pirates top the Marlins 5-4 today in 10 innings. They're now 69-44. Matt?
What a year they are having.
They're coming out to check on Alex Avila because he can't seem to shake it after that foul ball, and I never did quite see exactly where it struck him. I don't know if it got him on the ear, by the jaw. He's kind of strong. I wonder if he might have turned his head. Maybe that's how it got him.
Well, you see him. It might have been the jaw. I may see that.
Just pushed the mask maybe back into his ear, which is why he was rubbing his ear. But he's in some pain. Did you see Andrew McCutchen, speaking of the Pirates, his mom sang the national anthem and he hit a home run in the same game?
I didn't see that. They're having some kind of year. Unless that mask turned on the foul tip and some of it hit the side of his head.
Let's go back and see. Can you see anything on this? Yeah, like all I can figure is maybe that mask, when it got pushed back, it crunched something.
It might have been that mask jarred something.
Caught a piece of flesh that isn't normally used to getting hit when you're a catcher. And a strike to Jason Kipnis. Struck out swinging his first time up. Kipnis lines one to center right at Austin Jackson. 2 down.
Well, these guys don't let it die, do they? They're going after it. They're going to try. This is investigation right here on that foul tip. Ooh, that ball.
Oh, the ball
off.
got him.
Yes, it did. It deflected off his shoulder.
Yeah, and then it clipped him right on
And
the
I'll
ear.
bet that seam came up and got him.
Oh, now no wonder. What are the odds, you suppose, on that?
You know, right. It deflected off his shoulder and went right on the side underneath. Deflected up.
Wow.
Good shot, boys.
Nice work.
Now he knows why. Now you know why he's in pain. Can you imagine that thing's coming at you 90 miles an hour?
Cabrera sends a fly ball to deep right center field. Kelly won't get it. It's going to short hop the fence. Bourne's coming around third. He will score, and Asdrubal Cabrera with an RBI double gets the Indians on the board. It's 8-1 with a 2-out RBI hit here in the fourth inning. Well, Asdrubal Cabrera with just one hit in his previous 14 at-bats, but he juiced this one pretty good.
Looked like he left a little changeup upstairs. That's going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. 2-out double for Cabrera. That scores Michael Bourne. The Indians are on the board now. Their second hit, both coming in this inning. Double number 25 for Asdrubal.
And now Michael Brantley 0 for 1. Down in the dirt, and Avila with a nice stop. Down low, 2 balls and a strike. Brantley just waves at one. And it's 2-2. You don't see very many, if ever, swings like that from Brantley. He was just fooled.
That is a rarity. Coming back at that swing, at that changeup. No, sir, you don't see it often.
Popped him up foul. And that will get out of play. Runner at second, 2 down here in the fourth inning. Tribe down 8-1. Brantley with a hit in 4 straight games. He's had a good series to this point. And it's fouled back. Tigers, this is the first leg of a 3-city road trip. They'll go to New York for 3 and then on to Chicago for 3 more. Brantley lines one towards center field. Jackson breaks on it well and makes the grab to end the inning. Tribe gets on the board after 4. It's Detroit 8, Cleveland 1.
Wireless receiver only from AT&T Uverse. Rethink possible. And by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
8-1, Tigers on top. And for Detroit, it will be Ramon Santiago, Hernan Perez, and Austin Jackson. Santiago walked and scored. And what was the beginning of the end for Zach McAllister tonight? Zach walked him on 4 pitches, and then the wheels came off. Tigers would eventually score 6 times in the inning on just 3 hits. McAllister walked 4 in that frame, and that was his undoing.
Yeah, for him that was a strange night because of command issues. He's normally a strike thrower.
Preston Guillemette got the final 2 outs of that third. Gave up 2 runs in the fourth. And now he's 3-0 to Santiago here in the 5th. There's a strike. Yeah, a little squibber. Quick flip, not in time.
Well, there's not much more you could do. With him running down the line, you get there about the same time. Guillemette just took the glove and flipped it over there, but Santiago able to beat it out. Look at it. Issued a code red. Here we go. Just gets there. Pretty close, wasn't it?
Yep, Santiago beat it out, though. And now Hernan Perez, 1 for 2. Talked to Josh Tomlin down in the clubhouse before tonight's game. He pitched yesterday in Akron, and that went well, and he's scheduled to go out again on Sunday. He said 3 innings or 50 pitches, whatever comes first on Sunday, and then he'll have another start 5 days later.
He'll gradually work it up to about 100, right?
Yeah, he'll get up to about 100, and hopefully by the end of this month, he feels like if everything goes according to plan, he'll be ready to go again, and he is just... He's like a kid. He can't wait to get back here and try to help this team. Well, it's not a selfish thing. He wants to get back and help the team.
Well, he's been waiting a long time. It's tough coming back from the Tommy John surgery. And you know, I'm sure they'll wait till the rosters expand in September. But it'll be nice to see him back because this guy can pitch if he's anywhere close. See, he wasn't a guy that threw hard, blew out his arm. He was a pitcher before this surgery happened, so he knew how to add, subtract, threw a lot of curveballs, changeup. He was a pitcher at heart, so I can't wait to see him.
If anything, what the injury and the subsequent surgery is going to do for Tomlin is it's going to give him, you know, more life and better confidence to throw his fastball, because you know, now that he's healthy and raring and ready to go, I think he's got maybe a little more life, a little more giddy up on that number 1 pitch.
Well, the guy that pitched for us last night had the surgery in 2010, and I don't think it affected him. He's throwing harder.
Perez going to the other way again. How about that? The young guy coming off the bench and doing a nice job for for Detroit in this series. Getting the start tonight, and twice he's just gone the other way with the pitch, and twice he has singled, and twice he has sent Santiago from first to third. The injury report brought to you by Elk & Elk. Serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. 2 innings last night for Tomlin. He gave up 1 hit, struck out a batter. And the good news was he came out of it. He felt great. And that's with each start, that's what you just hope for, is that you get your work in, you feel good, no ill effects. You wake up the next day, everything's good to go. And so far, so good for Josh. And he understands the situation with Corey Kluber going down. He knows that, you know, they might need him, A, either in the starting rotation, or B, if the case may be, he said, heck, I can come out of the bullpen if they need me out of the bullpen.
Teaching Rayburn how to throw a curveball right now.
He may have to go and pitch before this thing's over.
Ryan says he doesn't want to know how to throw it. He wants to know how to hit one, as every hitter does.
The 1-1. Jackson pops it up. Out goes Aviles. Squeezes it. 1 away. All right, our recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. In that 3rd inning, Brent's fielder with his 2nd double of the game, that drove in a pair. Victor Martinez followed with a 2-run double of his own. And then the final run of that inning scored on an error. They have since added 2 more. It's 8-1 Detroit. Andy Dirks pops one up on the infield. Cabrera, the shortstop. 2 down. And now Miguel Cabrera, who has walked twice tonight. Matt Albers getting up in the Tribe bullpen. Cabrera walked with the bases loaded in the third to force in a run, and he walked back in the fourth inning. Ripped to left field. That's a base hit all the way to the wall. Santiago scoring. Perez coming around, and he scores as well.
Tell you what, they're not calling off the dogs, man. They're still hustling. They're going out there, and they are. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the score is. He scores from first. They get Cabrera a couple of RBIs.
A ball that goes all the way to the fence, and Cabrera has a 2-run single. But the guys on the bases were flying.
Yeah, there's 2 outs, so they're saying, let's go. And they're not giving in. They don't care what the score is. These guys, they're not the everyday players on this ball club, so they get an opportunity, and that's good hustle. They score. Cabrera doesn't care. That's 2 more ribbies in his cap. That gives him 104 on the season. Or make it 5, because he has the one with the walk earlier. So it's 10-1.
And Prince Fielder taking a called strike. A couple of hits for Fielder, the 2 doubles, 2 runs batted in, and a run scored. And that's driven to center field. Michael Bourne will make the catch to end the inning. 2 more for the Tigers. They lead it 10-1. Here, Fox Sports 1 will be your home for live sports and shows like Crowd Goes Wild, Fox Football Daily, and Fox Sports Live. The news and highlight shows fans have been waiting for. America's News Sports Network, Fox Sports 1, premieres August 17th. Ryan Pena takes over for Alex Avila behind the plate. After Avila took that foul tip that somehow clipped him on the ear. So he'll sit the rest of this one out. He'll be icing his earlobe. Max Scherzer, meanwhile, will go to work against Carlos Santana here in the bottom of the fifth. Pitch outside, ball one. Over the outside corner for a strike. Three and one. And it's ball four. Scherzer has walked his first, and the Indians had their leadoff man aboard for the second inning in a row.
First walk for Scherzer. The two-night Rock and Blast Fireworks Spectacular will take place tomorrow and Saturday when the Indians will take on the LA Angels, and fans will be treated to an expanded post-game fireworks display that'll pay tribute to the Rolling Stones' 50th anniversary. It's presented by Kia, and log on to Indians.com for your tickets.
Lonnie Chisenhall fly to right his only time up tonight. Outside 2-0. Scherzer's going to have a little meeting with himself.
Yeah, it looks like it. I'll give us time to send out some birthday wishes. Mark Koha is celebrating his birthday back in the studio. So, hey, big boy, Mark.
He's celebrating in the studios, is he?
Yeah, he's celebrating in the studios.
That could get ugly.
And we also want to send one out to Sue Folk.
Belated happy birthday wishes to Sue Folk, who is a saint, obviously. Married to
General
Jim Folk, Indians Director of Ballpark Operations. Chisenhall thrown out one away. And, of course, on Sue's birthday, which was last night, Jim spent 14 innings here at the ball yard.
Oh, my goodness.
So hopefully he made up for it.
I think she's used to that by now. You know, at a homestand, she knows where he will be. Hopefully she celebrated. She'll catch up with him later.
He's got some catching up to do.
Right.
1 on, 1 out with Santana at second base. Now Mike Aviles. Man, a fastball strike. Aviles struck out his first time up. Sky high right behind the plate. Pena back to the screen. And he just ran out of room.
Finish up our birthdays tonight. Bill Hamler of Huron is celebrating his 74th. Ted Snyder of Talmadge is celebrating number 80. And Dick and Nancy Weber of Grafton celebrating their 60th anniversary. Congratulations and happy birthday to each and every one.
And get well wishes going out to Greg Pelka, big Indians fan in Arizona. Greg, hope you're feeling better and get well soon. Now Mike Aviles awaiting the 0-2 pitch from Scherzer, a little bit outside. Right at the second baseman, gobbled up by Perez. 2 down as Santana slides over to third. Here's the AT&T U-verse rewind. Max Scherzer came out sizzling in the first 3 innings. 9 up, 9 down, struck out 3. And that's when the Tigers went out and effectively knocked McAllister out of the game and took command. They've scored 10 runs now.
As we told you, he gets the best run support in the league at 7.5 runs. They're at 8 right now, or 10, so they're over that.
Bouncing ball to second. Stubbs is thrown out. The inning is over. 5 in the books. 10-1 Tigers.
Every Sunday home game, there are plenty of activities for the kids. They can run the bases after the ball game. It's presented by Cleveland Clinic. Log on to Indians.com to get your tickets.
Matt Albers coming on now for the Indians. Today's Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen. After Preston Guillemette went 2 2/3 innings, he allowed 4 runs on 6 hits. Albers' 36th appearance this year, 2-1, a 3.70 ERA. He'll be facing Victor Martinez, then Don Kelly and then Brian Pena. Victor Martinez pops one sky high, left field. And Brantley has it. One away. All right, let's get the answer to the AT&T trivia question. Guys who won 25 games and didn't win the Cy Young Award. Well, I guess Juan Marichal, and then that was the only one I had.
Jim
Wow,
Cott,
3 times.
Nicky Lolich. How much can you do it 3 times and not win?
Ah, that's a good point. Redbird, there's a little caveat to that trivia question, Arch. In 1968, when Denny McClain won the Cy Young Award with his 31 wins in the American League, Bob Gibson won it with his 1.12 ERA in the National League. That was the first year they gave out Cy Young Awards to both leagues.
I got you in 60. Okay.
So
there
prior to
was only
68, they only gave out one, which explains how Marichal had those great years, but
never won the
didn't win
award.
it. They only had one award. To go back and look to who he lost out to. Swung out and missed. You know, it's amazing, Arch, that 1990 still doesn't seem like it's that long ago. I know it is all of a sudden, but
Yeah, it is.
Bob Welch, 27 wins. That's a mark that's going to be tough to top just that alone.
Yeah, because you figure you get 33, maybe 34 starts now.
What did I tell you at the start when we looked at Scherzer?
He'd
His
have 34,
possibility,
I think.
the most he can get, if he runs the table, the most he can get is 27. If he runs the
So
table.
that gives him, 11 more starts?
10 more after tonight.
Right.
Ground ball to first. Nice play by Swisher. He'll take it himself. And the Tigers go 1-2-3 for just the second time tonight. Top of the order for the Indians due up here. Bourne swing and a miss. Fastball drilled to right field, but Kelly's there. One away. The Browns kick off the preseason against the St. Louis Rams, and you can see all the action tonight at midnight right here on Sports Time Ohio. You won't miss a snap. Inside, he missed, ball one. On his way to first, Nick Swisher thrown out by Hernan Perez, 2 down. We were talking during the commercial break about the trivia question, pitching stats and things that we may not see again. You mentioned Roy Face, Elroy Face of the Pirates, 1959. Out of the bullpen, mind you, he did not have a start. He went 18-1. He pitched in 93 innings that year. Pitched in a total of 57 games. So 57 appearances, by today's standards, isn't that much. We're used to seeing guys go around 70.
But, how many innings?
93 innings.
Yeah, there you go.
But still, to vulture 18 wins coming out of the bullpen is something impressive.
Just being at the right place at the right time.
I mean, I thought Julian Tavares had a phenomenal year in 95 with the Indians when he went 10-2.
I had a guy, Dan Spillner, when I was playing, had, I think, 12 coming out of the bullpen one year.
Two down for Jason Kipnis, 0 for 2 on the night. Ground ball right up the middle, and it gets through. Jason Kipnis, a 2-out single here in the 6th inning.
Good low fastball that Kipnis stays on, hits it right back up the middle. I mean, it was down there knee high. That's what you do with it. Take it right back up the middle where it comes from. So Kipnis gets his first hit of the night. Indians with only 3 hits. Bourne has an infield single. Cabrera hit the double to drive in Bourne with 2 outs in the 4th, and now a 2-out single by Kipnis here in the 6th. Scherzer walked 1, struck out 4, and he's got a string of games where he has struck out at least 5 or more batters in 22 consecutive.
Runner goes, and a pitch, a called strike, no steal. I don't think they were holding him, and they weren't paying attention. Let's see. No steal.
He's got a chance to go for it now. But talking about those 5 strikeouts in a game for 22 game streak. Well, Bob Feller, as a member of the Indians, holds the record with 32 game streak. That began in 1946.
32 straight games, at least 5
5 or
punch-outs.
more. Right. Scherzer right now is at 22, and he has 4. And an 0-2 count to Cabrera.
To right back, Cabrera doubled in a run, the only run of the game for the Indians, back in the 4th inning. The pitch, and it's outside. Scherzer delivers and close, but didn't get the call.
Yes, it was close. A little high.
First time in this series, Jim Leland has been able to just breathe easy for the most part in this game. Fouled first base side. Not that any manager ever really does, but
yeah, true.
I mean, the first 3 games of this series, all of them tightly contested. But this one, the Tigers got the big 5-run inning in the third. They've added to it with 2 in the fourth and 2, or we're making that 6 in the third, and 2 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth. Cabrera fouls it away. Hey, by the way, I'm looking at your guy Dan Spillner, who was your teammate, who was a starter, but in 1982, exclusively out of the bullpen. Pitched in 65 games.
Right.
He had 21 saves, plus 12 wins and 10 losses.
Yeah, how about that?
That's unbelievable.
I remember he was really valuable.
To have that many decisions, plus that many saves.
And he didn't start in 82?
Not a single game, according to BaseballReference.com.
Yeah, I remember because at one time he was like a spot starter as well.
Down the right field line, Cabrera's got another RBI hit. He's headed for second base. His second RBI double of the night.
That was a good at-bat.
10-2 ball game now.
Good at-bat by Cabrera.
Well, it's a couple of good at-bats in a row now, and hopefully that'll get him going.
Well, you have to foul off some tough pitches to stay alive. A guy like Scherzer doesn't make a lot of mistakes. There's the changeup. Remember, he threw one high. That was borderline that he took. Call the ball. Well, this time he jumps all over it. He got that one down a little bit. Drives it into the corner. So Cabrera has driven in both the Indians' runs with a pair of doubles.
And up comes Michael Brantley, who's hit a couple of line drives tonight, but one of them was right at Prince Fielder. The other was right at Austin Jackson in center field. Rips that one foul. Look out.
Oh, man, that went after the man in blue. He might have got arrested if he would have hit him.
Slap the cuffs on him.
That's right. Look at him. He just bailed out of the way, stayed in his seat. No big deal. He's had tougher things come at him than a 95-mile-an-hour baseball, I guess. He's
back out of play. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Scherzer dialing it up now. And it's 0-2 to Brantley.
Yeah, that's where he had Cabrera.
Another foul ball by Michael. A little bit outside, 2-2. Brantley rips it foul again. Into the seats it goes. So Michael hanging in there, making him work for it. Scherzer over 90 pitches on the night. Another foul back. Can't throw it by him. 96 miles an hour again with the fastball. And upcoming the 25th pitch of the inning now for Scherzer. Brantley lifts one in the air to left field. Dirks is there, and he'll make the catch. Indians get a run here in the 6th, but it's 10-2 Tigers as we go to the 7th. Get a look in at the ballpark from our Panini Cam, brought to you by Panini's Bar and Grill. Ramon Santiago with a chopper towards first. Swisher with the flip to Albers, and he beats him to the bag. One away. Let's go downstairs and check in with Katie Witham.
Well, Matt, recently the Tigers dusted off their dancing shoes, all for a good cause. They participated in Dancing with the All-Stars. It was Ramon Santiago who ended up winning this one, but Andy Dirks was the teammate that drew all the attention. I believe his teammates actually described it as awkward watching him. Dirks said that it was definitely out of his comfort zone, but he enjoyed every minute of it, and he even admitted he was dedicated, got in 5 practice sessions before participating in this one.
What was he, the country western dancer?
Hernan Perez had a good night at the plate. 2 for 3, 2 singles, 2 runs scored. Slowly chopped to short Cabrera. Gloves and throws, got him, 2 away. Let's go back to the Hyundai Studios right now for an in-game update with Al Pawlowski.
All right, Matt, Kansas City Royals showing no signs of slowing down in the first inning here against Boston. Taking on John Lester, Mike Moustakas with a 2-out, 2 RBI base hit to right. Royals scored 3 in the first. So far, that's held up for Chen. He leads at 3-0, 4th inning at the K, Matt.
All right, thanks, Al. Austin Jackson takes a strike. 1 for 3 on the night. He tripled and scored. He's also walked and scored tonight. Slowly chopped. This is going to be tough. Chisenhall barehand grab and throw, but not in time. Jackson with an infield single. All right, so Redbird did a little research. He went digging up.
Okay.
All right, we talked about Dan Spillner.
Right.
The last 5 guys to have, since the save became an official statistic in 1969, last 5 guys to have 10 wins, 10 losses, and 20 saves. Mike Marshall.
Okay.
Raleigh Fingers. Goose Gossage. Of course, Spillner. And Tom Murphy.
Okay. Tom Murphy pitched in Milwaukee.
Cleveland born.
And I think the Angels in a couple of different places.
Is he in the book?
Yeah, for a salami.
That's why we brought it up.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Well, that's when guys used to pitch 3 innings, for a save.
Oh, sure, yeah. Goose Gossage, I remember.
Those guys used to go up to 9 outs.
Mike Marshall, of course, Raleigh Fingers.
Yeah, those guys would log a lot of innings, 100 innings.
Easily.
In the course of a year, and that's why they would get wins and losses and saves.
Dirks lines one to center field, a base hit. So back-to-back hits with 2 outs here in the 7th inning. Yeah, when you think about it in those terms, if you start thinking about, it's easy to see how a guy gets that many decisions, because if you come on and you pitch in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning,
the game on the line,
it could swing both ways on you, and you could see how you would all of a sudden a lot of decisions fall under your name.
And those guys, as you mentioned, would go 60-some games. Marshall at one time went over 100 games in a season coming out of the bullpen. Think about it, 100.
In 1974, Redbird tells me he pitched 106 games.
Right. You think you'd be fired if you let a guy go out there 100 times. Some teams don't even let their everyday players go out there 100 times. Yeah, Mike Marshall, he had, and he was the one guy that would turn it over and throw the screwball. You think he would kill his shoulder.
Two balls, no strikes for Miguel Cabrera. The Indians walked him twice, and then when he swung away in the 5th with 2 outs, he drove in 2 runs. And Michael Bourne with a terrific nosedive in center field to rob Cabrera of an RBI and a hit right there. Nice play by Michael Bourne in a 10-2 ball game. He's not going to pull up short. He's going face first into the turf to hang on to that one.
Nice play.
We've reached the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by Spitzer Auto World. Life is hard. Buying a car shouldn't be. 7th inning. Carlos Santana pops one up.
That wind's blowing it in, and they just...
Dirks came all the way almost to shortstop to catch it. One away. That'll bring up Lonnie Chisenhall 0 for 2 on the night. Bounce towards second base. Perez flips it to first, 2 down.
Well, the Indians will host the Angels this weekend, and on Saturday, all fans will be treated to a encore Rock and Blast fireworks show, and also the first 10,000 fans through the gates will receive a Rocky Colavito plaque, both courtesy of Progressive Insurance. If you would like tickets, log on to Indians.com.
Breaking ball in there for a strike. Swung on and missed. Checked his swing and it's fouled off. Swing and a miss. Scherzer gets his strikeout. He keeps his streak alive. That's his 5th strikeout of the night. The Indians go 1-2-3, 10-2 Tigers.
Reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Well, it looks like Max Scherzer's night is over after 7 innings of work, allowing just 2 runs, and His teammates gave him plenty of support tonight. They lead at 10-2 here going into the 8th, and now the Indians go back to their bullpen. And left-hander Mark Zepchinski coming on.
For the 5th time, he's been very active since getting over here. He's pitching every game in this series.
Prince Fielder leading off, 2 for 4 on the night, 2 doubles, 2 runs batted in, and a run scored. Swung on and missed. Now the waiver wire trading period goes through the end of the month. Story tonight on FoxSports.com. According to Ken Rosenthal, the Texas Rangers put in a claim on Alex Rios, who was put on that waiver wire by the Chicago White Sox. So now, since they put in a claim for him, the situation is they can work out a trade for him, or the White Sox can simply pull him back. They reportedly, according to Rosenthal, talked leading up to the July 31st trading deadline about a deal involving Rios, but it all comes down to who takes care of how much money on that contract that he's still owed.
And there's still a hefty price on that deal.
So whether or not they can come to an agreement now, we'll have to wait and see. The Rangers are a team that it's widely known they are desperately seeking a bat to add to their lineup.
Yeah, after losing Cruz, absolutely, with that suspension, they certainly are.
Rosenthal also reporting, Rick, that Michael Young of the Philadelphia Phillies has cleared waivers and could be traded to any team, but only if he has approval, and he has a full no-trade clause in his deal. So he would have to say, okay, I'll go to destination A, B, or C.
Okay.
But some interesting developments, and that's something that we'll certainly be keeping an eye on as the month rolls along. Pitch outside. It's one of those weird deals, though, because that's not made public as far as who gets put on the waivers, so we don't always know. Somehow it always gets leaked. You know,
how do people find that out? That's what I want to know.
Exactly right. Because they want people to know. Somebody wants you to know that so-and-so is on the waivers, leaks it out there somehow.
Well, it gets out there, and there's so many rumors. That's why half the time you don't pay attention to them until something happens.
Right, and it's not necessarily, it doesn't really mean anything if a team puts a player on waivers. It's just simply a way for them to gauge interest.
Teams do it all the time, just to see the kind of interest that you're right.
They can always pull you back.
And they don't have to work a deal out for you.
What I didn't realize, however, is, let's just say for the sake of argument, Alex Rios, he's put on waivers. He's claimed by Texas. Let's just say Chicago pulls him back. If they put him on waivers a second time this month, then those are irrevocable waivers, and if you put in a claim on him, he's yours.
Okay.
And you wouldn't get anything in return if you're Chicago. And a lot of times teams will look to put guys that they want to just dump salary on irrevocable waivers in the hopes that somebody will grab them. Three-two pitch. Martinez pulls the hands in, drives it to deep left, but back goes Brantley. He's got room, and he makes the catch. 2 away. In-game box score, courtesy of your local Hyundai dealers. And for the Tigers tonight, it was a big third inning, and it was a 6-run inning, but it was aided by 4 walks in that inning. They only had 3 hits, but they scored 6 times and effectively put it away. They added to it with 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th. Tigers are able to kick back tonight with a big lead. And en route to sweeping this series and running their win streak to 12 in a row. And they're going to make it really tough on the Indians now.
Well, especially for the division.
Yeah, that would have given them a 7-game lead, and with the Indians 45 to play. No, 47 to play. Got a bunch of math wizards up here, don't we?
Where's Murph?
Yeah, 47 left to go after tonight. It's not insurmountable, Rick, but obviously they put themselves in a position where they're going to have to play very well the rest of the season and hope that Detroit slips on a banana peel at some point. 1, 2, 3, we go to the bottom of the 8th, 10-2 Tigers. Total Car Care comes your way after the ball game here on Sports Time Ohio. Bottom of the 8th inning. Detroit goes back to their bullpen. And now Albuquerque in the game now, the 33rd appearance of the year. The right-hander 2-2 with a 5.10 ERA. Stubbs fouls it back. Low and away, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Nice pick. That one was not even close, and Pena able to backhand it.
The 3-2 pitch. Chopped to short. Santiago unloads. Close play, and he got it by a whisker. 1 away. Michael Bourne. How about this play to end the 7th inning of the top half? Coming in, diving and making a terrific catch.
See, sometimes it's hard as a center fielder to dive straight in like that. You know, your shoulder gets caught in the ground, and that's what happened to him, but he was able to hold on and make a nice play.
Sometimes in games like these, where, especially when you're coming off a game where you had a 14-inning affair, the bullpen is taxed. They even had a guy called up today who pitched out of the bullpen, gave you a couple innings, and now Ryan Rayburn is getting loose. And remember, we mentioned it earlier, and I said at the time he might have to pitch. There he is, just in case.
Tomlin was showing him how to throw a curveball. I thought they were just, BSing on the bench doing nothing. Guess not. Guess not. Can you break it out just from a tip on the bench?
I don't think so. Well, you never know. What is there to lose if you're Ryan Rayburn?
No, it's beautiful. It would be against his former team. Some guys, do you even want to go out there?
Borney rung up on strikes here, 2 down in the 8th. Going back to our keys to the game, courtesy of Akron Children's Hospital. It didn't work out in any way, shape, or form tonight.
No, it was, Detroit just put an exclamation point on this series today.
Yeah, they did.
They came in, there were 3 good ball games, and then on this 4th one, it was not good at all. They just put the exclamation point. They are going to ride out of town flying high. I think they proved to the Indians that they're the better team. No question about it.
Ground ball to second base. Perez has it. And he throws Swisher out. We'll go to the 9th. Ryan Rayburn is coming on to pitch for the Tribe when we come back. Little car care. We go to the ninth inning. And the Indians' bullpen has been exhausted, so Ryan Rayburn is going to come on and pitch the ninth inning. The last non-pitcher to work in a game for the Indians was Andy Marte when he worked a scoreless ninth inning against the Yankees July 29th, 2010. So Rayburn with a big smile. You got nothing to lose. Just go out and try to chuck it up there and see what happens.
Yeah, don't get hurt, but go out there and throw strikes, and hopefully they hit it at somebody.
Ironic, of course, it comes against his former team. Hey, is a first pitch strike in there.
It's like throwing back. Look at Salazar laughing.
Even Brian Pena's trying not to giggle.
He's throwing it too hard for Santana. Can't hold on to it.
Called strike, 2-2.
That's his zone. If
you got to swing the bat now.
Zone 83, 84. He tries to overthrow it. It gets up to 85, and he's a little high with it. There's the curveball.
Big bouncer, Swisher.
Look
We'll flip it to Rayburn. Nicely done, one away.
Very nice. He got over to first base without even having to be told. Now that's an athlete. There you go, a little movement away. He gets over there just in time. Well done. You can see that little smirk. He can't wipe it off his face.
Looks like Matt Tuiasosopo going to get an at-bat here. And a strike over the outside corner. Out of play, it's 0-2. Look at Justin Verlander telling him, throw a big hook. Spiked it in there.
You know, you got nothing to gain as a hitter because you're supposed to get a hit off this guy. If you don't, then these guys hoot on you for a long time. Don't strike out.
The 1-2. A little bit high.
Jeez.
Oh,
some high cheddar.
Yes, indeed. Rip foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. With 1 out here in the ninth inning. Swung out and missed. He struck him out. Rayburn ramps it up there to 89 miles an hour.
Did he really?
And threw it by him.
He got it up that high, huh?
2 away here in the ninth.
There's not much to smile about in this series, but I'll tell you what, this is good. He throws it up there, and there it is. The high fastball, and he gets it by him. Well done.
Hernan Perez, 2 for 4 on the night. Upstairs, ball 1. Bouncing ball, second base. Aviles has it, throws him out. A perfect ninth inning for Ryan Rayburn. That's a tremendous teammate right there as he picks up the bullpen. And Rayburn gets a strikeout in the ninth. Indians trailing 10-2. ninth. And Phil Koch will come on to pitch now for Detroit. He's got a tough act to follow in this game, though.
Well, that was pretty good by Ryan Rayburn, I must admit. He went out
excellent.
there, he threw strikes. It was...
Kipnis, Cabrera, Brantley due up for the Tribe. Don Kelly now in the game at second base. Tuiasosopo is out and left. And Hernan Perez goes over to shortstop. Jason Kipnis to lead it off. Outside ball one. Well, as disappointing as this series has been, still a lot of baseball left to go this year, and the Angels come to town to start a 3-game weekend series tomorrow night.
Well, it's not going to get any easier on the pitching department.
I was going to say, as if they haven't faced enough absolute studs of late, Jared Weaver will start tomorrow for the Angels. He's only 6-5 on the year, but a 2.90 ERA. Scott Kazmir goes for the Tribe, 7-4 on the year. We'll have all the action for you right here on Sports Time Ohio. Kipnis drives one to left. On the run, Tuiasosopo won't get it. Short hops the wall. Kipnis on his way to second base. And he's got a leadoff double. As promised earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. As Dribble Cabrera came into the game with just one hit in 13 at-bats in the series, but in back-to-back at-bats, he has hit back-to-back RBI doubles. And it's the kind of game that you hope gets him going offensively. He's been batting in the middle of the lineup after Terry Francona changed things up. Terry told me before the game, he said, you know, his dribble's too good of a player. He's got too much of a track record. He said, I know he's got a good hot streak in him. And you're just hoping that it's just around the corner.
Well, yes, you're right. And you hope when he has that hot streak, there's a lot of runners on base.
I mean, nobody's expecting him to step into the 4-hole and suddenly start hitting a lot of home runs. But he's much better than what he has shown. He came into tonight with a .240 batting average. You know he's not a .240 hitter. And eventually, he'll start to come out of it. Hopefully this is the beginning of that right here. Down on the count, 0-2 to Koch. Fouls it back to stay alive. Now, the one aspect of Detroit's team all season long that has been the question mark was in their bullpen. They started the year, they weren't sure who the closer was going to be. They went through a number of different options, but now they've settled on Joaquin Benoit. He's been very good in that closer spot. And what we've seen in this series with the just recent signing of a guy like Jeremy Bonderman, boy, he was really good last night. If Bruce Rondon can continue to throw like he threw last night, 103 miles an hour, well, then suddenly that question mark they had isn't.
There's not much about this team that's not, you know, playoff caliber. Their 6 through 9 hitters, I think, need a little work. Now that Peralta's serving his suspension, they'll miss his bat. And, you know, with a couple injuries they have down there, Infante. But you're right, if they get that bullpen straightened out, there's no guarantees. That's a pretty well-built team.
There's Drupal Cabrera. Putting up a good at bat here, down on the count. 1-2. In the air to center. And Jackson makes the grab. Kipnis will tag. He'll go to third. One away. Well, we mentioned the last non-pitcher to pitch for the Indians was Andy Marte against the Yankees. Until tonight. Ryan Rayburn hits a ground ball, gets over and covers. Strikes out Tuiasa Sopo. And another ground ball out.
Well done.
We'll take that ball and put it on the trophy case. Michael Brantley 0 for 3 on the night. The executive producer for Sports Time Ohio is Tom Farmer. Coordinating producer for Indians baseball, Steve Warren. Tonight's game produced by Jim Murphy, directed by Pat Murray. Indians Live produced by Mike Bachman. Associate producers Mike Pacta and Steve Bardo. Technical director Dan Larson, creative consultant Mark Koha. A little bit low. Sitting in the booth with us tonight, the Director of Information, John Krepop.
He is a wealth of knowledge up there.
Long-time press box attendant here for the Indians, going back to the days at Cleveland Stadium. He's always good for a nugget or two during the ballgame. He's got one Post-it note up on the window.
Yeah, that's his phone number to call home after the game. He's going through the book right now. It's his old phone numbers.
There he is.
There's Popper. Yep. Look at him. He's afraid to look. He doesn't have as many crayons as Tommy Bowe, but boy, that information just flows.
I think there's a kink in the information hotline, though. It didn't make its way down here to us. Little squibber out in front. Koch has it. He looked to third and then threw it away. Kipnis can walk home from third, and Brantley will go to second.
He looked the guy back, and it's surprising. Just go get the out. Brantley running down the line, and then I don't think Fielder ever had a chance to catch this ball. I'd have to see a replay on it. By the time he comes up and fires it, Brantley's still going. He took a long time and beats it out anyway, and the throw's nowhere near him.
No, he threw it over Brantley's right shoulder.
Right.
And Fielder's on the inside. He's got to go.
How much time he takes. What's he doing even looking? Get the ball, get the out. So that probably goes a hit and an error. It's a hit and an error.
Carlos Santana, line drive right field, caught by Dirks. Throw to second, not in time. 2 down here in the 9th inning. Lonnie Chisenhall to the plate now for the Indians. Chisenhall is 0 for 10 in the series and just 1 for his last 18. Swung on and missed. Count 0-2. Now the 0-2 pitch from Koch. Foul back out of play. The 0-2 pitch swung on and fouled back. Chisenhall awaiting the 0-2 from Koch with Brantley at second base. Another foul back. One more time, the 0-2 pitch. In the air to right field. Dirks is there. And the sweep is complete for Detroit. They take all 4 from the Indians. They've won 12 in a row. They lead the Tribe by 7 full games in the division now, as the Tigers go to 68-45. The Indians fall to 62-53. And it is going to be a long uphill climb now for the Indians, with 47 games left in the season. 10-3 the final score. Time now for our key play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank.
Well, let's go back to that third inning. After a couple of walks, Prince Fielder comes back up, and he is going to hit a double. That's his second double of the game off McAllister. Got it rolling, made it a 3-0 ball game. So that was the KeyBank key play of the game. Get a free Kindle Fire HD when you sign up for a new checking account. Some restrictions apply.
Well, it was an ugly series for the Indians, but all is not lost because, as I mentioned, still 47 games to go. They'll try to get it turned around tomorrow night against the Angels. We'll talk about what went wrong tonight coming up next on Indians Live.